It is a very serious problem that needs to be addressed in a comprehensive way. I live in West Modesto, and my drive downtown is generally sometimes dodging people wandering through the streets.
I think it's overwhelming. It's devastating. It's extremely difficult to live and operate in a space where you see so many unhoused people and living in extreme poverty.
In the last couple of 3 years, it's just exploded. This is something that's been ignored all that time and it's just caught up to everybody. And now they're trying to scramble to find a way to fix it. The state of California is already at $17 billion into it since 2018. And there's still nothing to really show for it. It just keeps getting worse.
Well, it's growing. I feel that it's coming and growing some years more than other years, and this year is a little the customers don't like to be around people that they are dairy. Like a small business, it's really hard to maintain a business in the area.
Being homeless, it's can factor from like a few different things, from inflation to substance abuse. It is sad to see, but it's reality.
Instead of giving homeless people the resources they need, which is necessary, we should also be focusing on the problems that are causing people to become homeless in the first place.
And there's a lot of people that are unhoused that are coming to California from other states with one-way bus tickets because this is where they think there is the most resources, because that's what they're being told in other states.
We're getting migrants from all over the world coming through our southern border, unchecked. They're bringing in drugs. It's going to be a tax on all of our economy to try and deal with them by ourselves.
I deal with people almost every day. People that blame homelessness on this or blame homelessness on that. But I would say the majority of the time, it is simply either a misunderstanding or some ignorance about the subject. Everybody wants to fix these issues. Everybody wants to, combat homelessness, and that's commendable. It surely is. But at the same time, then be willing to open up your mind and learn why things actually happen and how you can actually fix it. As you do that, more and more people get involved and more people understand. And then again, you just increase the number of people that are sort of helping to pull the cart the same direction, instead of everybody going a different direction and blaming each other.
I believe one of the reasons that Camp2Home is so successful is because we have such a collaborative relationship in our community. Our police chief works very closely with our fire chief. They both work very closely with our chat team, with our downtown streets team members. It is truly a relationship building program for those that need the services.
We know that this is a huge issue, not only for our community, but the people who are experiencing homelessness. This is a dual problem that needs to be solved, and I hope the community recognizes our compassion for these individuals, but also our desire to make our community livable for everybody.
It started, I guess, I became homeless. I decided to leave an abusive relationship.
I keep in chase my daughter. She's doing very bad drug, and then so that's why I can be homeless for 3 years.
I'm homeless because I mean, I've done a lot of time in prison. I did 16 years.
Mine had been since 1997, so what's that, like 14 years?
Yeah, about that. I don't know, I've been out homeless for about 27 years here in Modesto.
Because I had first gone homeless in 2018, and at the time I had injuries to my lungs.
We had been sleeping in our car for an amount of time, and we had small kids with us.
Being on these streets is tough, definitely for a female and males. It's tough for all of us.
I seen too much on the streets, and I would want to be back out there.
Was out on the streets, slept in parks, slept, on, sidewalks, behind businesses and things like that.
Really all over, really, different places, but not nowhere stable. We were down and out. We didn't know what we were gonna do.
I've been in Stanislaus County for about 21, 22 years. Spent about 18 of them in prison. When I first got out, I got a good job and making good money and stuff, bought me a beautiful car. My sister ended up dying. Then I get another phone call, I had to go back and take care of finances problems because all my other siblings already passed away. Somehow or another, on the way back, went off a bridge on I-40 coming through Albuquerque. Totaled out my car, tore up a few things on me, sat down there for about 4 months in the hospital.
Everybody has a story, whether they lost a family member, whether they lost their home, whether they're homeless due to drugs or alcohol. It's not by choice, it's just unfortunate situations.
We stand a lot on the street corners waiting for crosswalks and this and that for the lights to change, and people look at you like you're dirt, you're trash.
A lot of people are so judgmental. They see homeless people as real dirty, alcoholics, drug addicts, not working.
I just think they ought to give people more of a chance, because there's a lot of people over there that's just over there because of the medical condition. They can't help themselves. They have no family. So we're just going to turn our back on them? It's not right. Might as well live in the third world.
They need to start addressing it as a whole and start taking it piece by piece by piece to maybe eventually get to the end of that tunnel. The things that they're doing, I don't think is being helpful, is just keep throwing money at it. They need to actually sit down and get to know all these people that are out there on the streets.
First thing I would do would be to try and get some sort of mental health program going. I don't know, there just have to be feet on the ground. There have to be people doing it. Just like we have a police force, we could use a mental health force.
Homelessness is a big issue, has been a big issue, and not just our city, but many cities throughout the United States. And the typical response has always been to send police officers to deal with either homeless issues, mental health issues, things related to substance abuse, and we wanted to try something different.
They approached us because we were sleeping in our car, and they were kind. At first we thought we were in trouble, but they reassured us that they had resources that they could help us with.
We're not there to take them to jail, to arrest them, to issue them citations, so they feel more open and honest, and they open up and they share a lot with us because they feel like we are not going to be taking that law enforcement component side of things.
They don't look at you as scum. They look at you like they want to be looked at, like an individual.
A lot of it is just really understanding what people are going through. When you see someone on the side of the road, they have a story, and it's important that you get to know them and you learn what that story is. And if there's needs that they have and there's things that they can't accomplish because maybe they don't have transportation or they don't have jobs or they don't have clothing or shelter, what can we do as a team to help them? And so one thing that we do is we take it case by case basis, and we get to know them, we build rapport with them. And that's one thing that the community health and assistance team does very well. They show the public that the public can count on them.
A lot of trust, and that's not easy to get for me. Modesto chat team helped me very much in my situation that I'm in, that's being homelessness, coming out of prison. I didn't have a license for 64 years, brother. I just got them. 64 years I ran life without a license. For them, that's why I got it.
If someone is willing to accept help, we will go 100% until that is accomplished. So we work on housing, so we use the shelters in Modesto. We work on getting them jobs, so we look at the downtown streets team as an avenue of providing that job for them or that shelter so they can move on with their life and find the next step.
They got people on the team that really got big hearts, and if you let them work for you, they can do beautiful things for you.
Less than a month I was in a place, and I was been on the streets, you know.
Our Camp2Home program, along with our chat team and how those all work together, can be a model for other agencies across the country. When you have such a robust program like Camp2Home to help people where they're at, restore people and move them from a place of often homelessness to a place of a job and housing, that's how you affect lives, and that's how you make people successful.
That turned my whole life around, and now I feel like, because of chat and the way they came into my life and gave me the guidance they did, everything blossomed into what it is today. Without them, I wouldn't be here. I'd be back in prison or dead.
These folks need to know that this community cares for them. These folks need to know that their name is not lost. These folks need to realize that even though they're in the situation they have found themselves in, and even though they're here and they're living in this shelter, they want people to know that they're here. They want people to know that other people do care for them.
I found out about the ACEs shelter while I was still at Tent City and decided I didn't want to be outside anymore, and this was going to be an opportunity for me not only to better myself but have a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in and a safe place to be, and it worked out real well.
This facility currently holds 182 residents. We have 29 employees. Those employees consist of shelter monitors, janitors, healthcare aides, and so all of those folks contribute to what we do here on a daily basis here at the ACES shelter. We remove the barriers that a normal shelter wouldn't remove. So those barriers are pets, possessions, and partners. When I say pets, you could probably hear the barking in the background a little bit. We allow up to 50 dogs in this facility with residents. If you know the community, you know that the dog is their best friend. They probably won't go into shelter. A lot of shelters won't allow them to come into shelter if they have a pet. So we removed that. And so that has allowed people to come in with no hesitation.
Everybody was so supportive, and they helped me with my dog while I was at work because they knew I was trying to better myself and trying to move on with my life.
That's the idea of this low barrier shelter. We remove all of those barriers that would stop them from going into a normal shelter, which is an amazing thing, right? Because in other places that they would either be rejected or not allowed into the shelter, we open up our front doors for those particular barriers.
Little things like that. Next thing you know, our shelters are more full. The caseworkers are doing their job. Housing is being found. All those kind of things like that. So you have to address everything at once. You just can't pick and choose which problems you're going to address. And that is where I think Modesto's successes lie. So what we've done here is the ACES stands for the Access Center Emergency Shelter, which implies that the Access Center is 50 feet away from our building. So that means that the success rate for people to go meet with their caseworker and receive housing assistance or employment assistance increases more and more and more. If you incorporate all these different partners and caseworkers and all these different agencies, right, the success rates to get someone out of homelessness increase drastically. So much, in fact, that we realized in the ACES shelter that in the first 90 days, we literally had a 96% success rate in getting people to their caseworker appointments, which was approximately double the success rate of any other shelter that I've ever been involved with.
Now I'm working at the Salvation Army shelter that I once stayed at, and I want to help others to have the life that I have now.
That's what's so beautiful about Camp2Home is it is an ongoing effort. It's an initiative, and it comes in stages, and we do every step of the way all that we can to help people reach their goals and hopefully live a productive life where they're safe.
Downtown Streets Team started back in 2005, and it was really developed out of this idea in the Business Improvement District that there was a need. There were complaints from business owners about the downtown area being clean. There were also complaints about people loitering or just laying around in the community. And so why don't we do something about it? So our team members go out Monday through Friday beautifying our community. They work on teams of about 5 to 6 people cleaning up our streets. And 2022, they were able to remove over 400,000 pounds of debris from these very streets.
Watching Modesto go down the way it was because of the litter and the vandalism, I totally love being able to clean all that up. Modesto Downtown Streets Teams has got me a job. I have permanent employment right now. I have an apartment, and if it wasn't for Modesto Downtown Streets Teams, I wouldn't be here.
When they're ready to receive these services and we recognize that they're ready to break the unhoused cycle, they're ready to take on more job skills. And Downtown Streets Team being the first step in the employment pipeline, these individuals are really kind of gaining a new sense of who they are and learning new skills. It's, an entryway back into employment.
They gave you a sense of self-worth. Each member was made feel that they were important, and that's a big thing. They helped me get paid employment. I highly recommend it. I mean, they helped me.
Well, the Modesto Downtown Streets Team, they've helped me back up and got me all my vital documentation. They've helped me get to my court dates. They've helped me through everything.
We're able to serve 50 team members here, working on their individualized goals. So somebody might really need help getting a birth certificate from Hawaii. Someone else might need help getting glasses so they can fill out a resume and an application with confidence and show up to an interview. Meeting someone where they're at and taking those steps to help them reach self-sufficiency, we're building trust along the way.
They gave their 100% to us. Now I'm gonna give my 100% back to them for the Downtown Street Team.
The data that we're seeing come out of this Camp2Home initiative is astounding. And I think copy, paste, repeat, getting this into other communities would be a no-brainer to me.
Modesto's Camp2Home program came out of the desire for the community to address its homelessness problem in a positive way.
As a major employer in the area, we're always looking for high-quality, entry-level folks that can come, learn on the job, and hopefully advance themselves over time. And we've been very pleased with the folks from the Camp2Home pre-vetting program that helps identify good workers amongst the homeless.
Camp2Home actually sets you up to condition you to get back into the world where you're getting used to paying bills again. And that's one of my favorite things. I now have a guy named Bill I get to hand my money over to.
We've hired over a dozen folks through this program, and it continues to be a resource for us in filling roles.
Participating in a program like this helps get those neighbors who are down on their luck on their feet and off the street, and that benefits the individuals because it helps give them the dignity of a good-paying job. It gives them the tools to work their way out of their current situation. It's good for employers because you get good, hardworking employees, and it's good for the community because more people are productive. It's just good all the way around.
Kind of find myself on the other side of the fence where I'm not the homeless guy. Would somebody offer me services? Instead, now I'm the guy offering the homeless services.
My husband passed away in 2020, and I had been here alone for a year. And it just seemed to me that it would be a very positive thing to have a resident in my home.
Modesto Downtown Street Team did a presentation. She came to him and said, "How can I help? I've got this 3-bedroom house. I live there by myself and I want to help. And then I got to meet her, bring my dog over there and let her run around the backyard. And it just seemed that this was it. This was where I needed to be.
And she's got a funny little dog named Poopy, and Poopy has found a home here.
My dog Poopy has been through a lot. She was abused by her original owner. We came here, and she has a backyard to play in and run around in, and she just living the dog's life.
The biggest highlight that has happened from this program is a little bit of a miracle. I'm a member of Sunrise Rotary here in Modesto, and a friend was there at the meeting and said, "You've got Colleen in your home, Colleen McBride, who grew up in Turlock." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, my wife and I adopted her granddaughter 8 years ago." I said to Colleen, "I have some news for you." And I told her that I had had this contact and that this family wants her to be reunited with her grandchild. And she just burst into tears and said, "I have wanted to look for her. I didn't even know where to start." And it's just been wonderful to see Colleen be reunited with this child. That little girl this past Saturday just threw herself into Colleen's arms. And, you know, it's, I don't know if you could say that's a good experience. It's it's something that you can't really describe how wonderful this has been, this connection that's been made. And she just feels like snuggling into Colleen. And so that has been a real positive, I think, for me, to just see this beautiful home that my husband and I bought being put to some very meaningful use.
This was meant to be, in a sense, because we have so much in common.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have the same personality traits. We just get along. We go places together.
Modesto is doing more than any other city for homelessness because their approach to homelessness is on a case-by-case basis. You can't just take money and throw it at homelessness. You need to make these kinds of connections for people, match people with someone that can lift their life, and someone else can lift another life.
Yay, yes, definitely. I love this woman.
People can't afford homes. They can't afford even rent. So what else are they going to do? They can't afford the utilities. They can't afford food. So there's no other alternative but to live out on the street.
So we work with local jurisdictions like the City of Modesto or Stanislaus County, and they refer clients who have housing vouchers which pay for their housing. And we saw that the Camp2Home would be a good fit with some of our housing units. We're fully occupied, and we're happy to add some more housing to the community.
Feels great. I mean, we'll relax. You ain't got to worry about when you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, how cold it's going to be. It's sanctuary. Safe.
Get whatever I want out of the fridge. I could cook. Then my girl cooks for me. We go to bed at a decent hour, and we get up and go to work.
We situate the client into the unit, orient them to their new home, and help them get underway to the next successful level of housing in our community.
I went from sleeping at a park to a home. A warm bed I can call mine, so it's amazing.
The interaction I've had with some of the council members and the mayor, they seem to have an idea what they have to do. They just got to get the support and enough funding to continue to make it grow.
And also ensuring that money is being spent on the resources and programs that will help people have better quality of life.
And hopefully they can put their minds together and professions together and make something actually happen.
So we know that we need additional case managers. We know that we need especially more funding to involve more people in this initiative. There are people that want to be involved, but we need the resources in order to meet their needs.
I hope they can get more funding. I hope these programs will continue to be funded. Our quality of life as residents here depends upon seeing that people have a quality of living that is more than just acceptable. And we desperately need that. Who wants to drive around their city and see people living in degradation and sadness and mental illness?
To expand this program, to make more beds available, to expand the building, to expand the structure of this place, in order to serve this community in a big way, we need funding to help plan that and help that grow.
We need sustainable funding to make sure that we can sustain these programs. There's often times where at state and federal levels, there's one-time monies put towards this, but that only sustains programs for so long.
Right now, I would say the primary obstacle preventing Modesto Downtown Streets team from growing is funding. We are ready and willing to grow, and the need is high. We just do not have the financial capacity to do that at this time.
And the funding that we do have has a lot of strings to it, and it has a lot of specificity to what can be used for it. Our chat program, we do not have ongoing funding for. Downtown Streets team, we don't have ongoing funding for. And so those pockets of money that we did have, they will run out at some point in time. And we are doing the work to try and help this population, but we need the dedicated funding streams that we've never had before.
The amount of assistance that we can provide, food boxes given out, you name it. All in every one of those areas increases when fundraising increases.
We're never gonna stop. We're gonna just keep going until we find the right solutions for our community. And we're just trying to do our part, but we need everybody to come together and really kind of lend a hand to help address this crisis that we've been living in.
The city of Modesto realizes, yes, housing is an issue. Low-income housing is an issue. Addiction treatment is an issue, right? Mental health is an issue. You have to be willing to admit or address all these things at the same time and bring everybody together that can do that, because more and more problems and community challenges get fixed when everybody just works together to bring whatever answers that they have to the table.
One person can't do it. One agency can't do it. We need each other, everybody together, joining together to find the solution.
We care about everybody in this community, whether you're unhoused or whether you're a citizen or whether you're an employee. We care about people. And this community has always just been tremendous about trying to uplift itself.
The Camp2Home program is amazing in the city of Modesto. It's many groups working together to accomplish the same thing, and that's addressing quality of life.
Being housed under the Camp2Home and that connection with my granddaughter might not have happened. It just brought the whole thing together. I'm so grateful for all of it and for you.
This home is a blessing. Downtown Street Team was a blessing.
I'm a real go-getter, so being homeless is not going to discourage me. I'm going to keep pushing forward, keep striving until I achieve my main goal.
Now I got self-respect. Now I got self-esteem. I get paid for what I'm doing, and look what they did for me. Brought me from nothing to this.
Having a home, having good friends behind me, new friends, good people. It's a new lifestyle for me. It's a great experience.
But that's one of the things I missed when I was homeless, is just that sense of normalcy. And that's what Camp2Home gave me back, is normalcy.
I'm really excited about the Camp2Home initiative. I think that it was brilliant and is truly impactful in the lives of individual people.
If we can get one person off the street, that's a success to me. And I know many want us to get all of them off the street, but we're gonna keep at it one at a time.
They backed me through everything, like helping me pay for my schooling so that I can become a guidance counselor. I want to work with children that maybe could relate to me, and I can maybe help another person not have to come up and have to deal with this kind of a situation. If I could do that, I can't explain the feeling. It just, it made my heart happy.